Okay, so let's talk about Zelda, the game that so many people are excited about. There is footage of people literally running to the E3 Nintendo Zelda booth when the gates are open because they wanted to play the game that badly. They wanted to just get in line before everyone else. Running past all the other booths, just straight to Nintendo. And with so many new games out there for people to try, that's fucking mental. I mean, this isn't Disneyland. It's Cunting E3, the land where the corporate BS runs wild, and IGN are cutting backroom deals to the sum of such money that I begin salivating even thinking about it. Which I can't blame them for. Well, I can blame IGN for all kinds of stuff, but not the people who chose to run to go and play Zelda. I mean, just looking at the footage that they showed, the game looks gorgeous and a blast to play, especially compared to Skyward Sword, which was okay, but certainly not what many fans of the series were looking for. Currently, not much is known about the story, but let's be honest, it's not exactly the farthest stretch to say that the princess will be kidnapped and it's up to intellectual property Link to go through some fancy dungeons and save her. Which I'm fine with. It's not like a Zelda game drops every year. Skyward Sword itself dropped over 5 years ago, so I think that's a very good gap between installments. And to the people who say that Zelda is the same game every time, I think you should clarify that. While Zelda is pretty much the same story every time, except for the few occasions, mind you, the game always gives me the feeling of a similar yet different gameplay style. Now, maybe that's because of the subtle changes that are made, but it's beyond me to figure out. Now, from the trailer, the ability to chop down trees and cooking seems like it will be something fun to do. And from the excitement on people's faces from the E3 footage, it seems like so many people are hyped just to do that. Which brings me to my next topic. Nintendo does not need to fuck this up. I know there are some crazy people out there in defense mode who say that Nintendo is doing fine and their consoles have sold enough systems, and that releasing one exclusive every 8 months to a year is fine, and that they don't need third party support. And those people are the type of people I always wonder how they function in society when they're in denial that hard. The truth is that Nintendo is a victim of their own closed minded nature, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again. People already know this. So, let's just boil it down to its simplest form. If Nintendo wants to have any hope of getting situated in the console market, they need to stop smelling their own asses and compete. Which it seems like they are at least considering, because it seems like Nintendo has already sent out dev kits of the Nintendo NX to third party developers so that they can get familiar with the gear. And guess what else? When Nintendo found out that the other companies were testing the VR stuff on their systems, it seems Nintendo stopped the early production of the NX systems so that they could test how VR would do on it. Now, while I don't think they need VR, this action shows, or at least I hope that it shows, that Nintendo is taking their system seriously, even if it means putting more power into it so that it can handle a bit of low-level VR. This is huge coming from such a closed-minded company like Nintendo, and while they may have a long way to go, at least from my perspective, it looks like they are headed in the right direction. Okay, well, that's it for me on this video, and like always, I'll see you guys on the next video.